Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Download Queue, episode 68. We're coming at you for an early episode as we cover Doom the Dark Ages, PlayStation and Bungie swirling in a never-ending muck of controversy that just never ends. Kyle's got a new controller he wants to talk about, and a little bit more on this week's episode. Your new favorite place for all things gaming, news, reviews, coverage, impressions, whatever it is. Kyle, how in the hell are you doing, my dear friend?
Doing good. We got we got sickness in the house. Someone's got a cold. Where it started from, who knows? But when you got a toddler, it's gonna spread. It's gonna spread. So we are dealing with that. So I am a little congested. Thank you for moving the show up a little so I can focus on that later in the day, which is fun. But other than that, it's been nice. Been doing some outdoor work and such, but playing a ton of games, dude. It's just insane the last month. Xbox and Game Pass has had, right? We're going to talk about Doom, but Expedition, South of Midnight, and I know I'm forgetting something else because this year has been there it is, yeah, Towerborn that we played, and we got to play more of that too. But yeah, just a crazy month of playing games for sure, and I'm like kind of overwhelmed, but capping it off with Doom right now, very nice.
You could even say not even capping it off. It's like just getting started. We still got Tony Hawk coming next month. Like,
I know,
just
you got to
cap.
It is, and that's why I'm capping it off. Yeah, and then it's just gonna keep going.
Nice. Yeah, I saw your tweet yesterday about the nap time in the feed. I was like, oh, it's gonna be that type of weekend for in Kyle's household. Things are just peachy keen.
Yes, when I was putting my daughter to rest, she's 21 months right now old, so that's really awesome. But yeah, she put her hand in my mouth and just like pulled down and pushed in a little, and yeah, it was like the mandible claw just landing it on me, and I was like, whoa! And then she just laughs after, which it's the funniest thing and the most frustrating thing, which makes it more funny to me as an adult, is when you're like, hey, don't do that, or you're like, no, stop, and they're like, ha ha ha, and they keep doing it, and she thinks you're playing. It's like, you just don't know yet. You're just a little baby. I can't be mad at you.
You have no.
But yeah, it's been I know. I'm teaching you, and that's fine. I'm not going to be mad. It's hilarious though when I say, "Here, can you hand that to me?" and you get a foot away from or inches away, and you chuck it on the ground. I'm like, you know how rude that is, little kid. You know how rude you are being by almost handing me something and chucking it. Anyways,
God. Like, moving on. We're gonna get into it here. I would like to personally start. Save the news. Save the talking stuff for later. I want to get into Doom because we brought it up with Game Pass starting the week off. It's now been out for. I was surprised. I thought this was a Friday release this week. Apparently, it was a Thursday, and like late Wednesday night, it popped up on available to play on Game Pass. I was like, oh shit. Hopped in a little
it was
bit
like
on
5
Wednesday.
p.m.
Yeah, it was super nice.
5 p.m. Pacific time. It went live. I love that.
That's a little surprise. Hopped into it. I want to kind of take this in sections instead of just a full-blown ramble on both of our parts. How much time have you got?
We do that.
Where are you at? What are your first thoughts?
I have 3 missions left.
Oh shit!
I really wanted to beat it last night. Playing on normal, the ultra violence, I think is called, the middle one. Yeah. So I'm having a blast with it. I want to beat Expedition 33. I'm stuck in like a grindy phase. So this palette cleanser of Doom, fast, quick, fun loop. There's a flow to the combat. Yeah, I just keep wanting to play it, and yeah, I have 3 missions left. I'm loving it.
I thought I was going to be further ahead of you with your lifestyle. I
No.
I think I'm just starting mission 17, if I remember right. So I've done kind of without spoilers. There's a hard transition in like theming, I would say, for the levels that you go into. I'm in like the second one of those. Yeah, it's awesome. I really am enjoying it so far as a first person shooter experience. Doom in general, I skipped what was 2018 was the first one, 2016, whenever that was. Skipped that entirely. Played through Eternal, really enjoyed, and Doom the Dark Ages so far to me feels like more of the same in an okay baddish way. I'm not in love with it like a lot of people are so far. I'm enjoying my time. I don't see it being something I return to ever after I roll credits. Um, I know Eternal did have like one or two story DLCs. We'll see how that goes, where I'm at just financially and just game wise to play if that happens with the Dark Ages. But yeah, it is a solid thing. It is more Doom, you know? This is not going to be some revolutionary story wise. We're getting a emotional television series about this later on, but for what it does, uh solid. Sound design, solid. We talked about it on Twitter or something. I think it was Discord maybe, but like the sound effects when you're playing is so crunchy and just feels so good. There's like the first time at the beginning you'll go through kind of a really high jump and land in a crowd of enemies, and like the ground hits and it rumbles, and like there's like a thunder thing out in the distance. Like it has impact. It just feels really fucking cool and badass to play.
Yeah, sorry, I was clearing my throat. No, 100, like it feels so heavy. You feel like a tank, but you're so quick at the same time. The way the combat flows together as well. The shield is awesome. I love the parry mechanic. The shield bash, which you hold trigger, then you can press RT to dash to an enemy and slam them. And again, it lets a shockwave that takes a lot of the fodder enemies out, which just works so well. Um, it's just so much fun. I agree. The story is it is a story. I do think them doing a full cinematic campaign for this, it does so much for it. I accidentally skipped one, and I think it was like a crucial one, which is really funny. Um, but other than that, like I'm not skipping these. I'm watching them all. I'm not like, whoa, what's gonna happen? Like these, I'm not like enthralled with the characters. It's a pretty straightforward story, but more than serviceable for a Doom campaign, in my opinion. And like, if this is the starting ground for more of a cinematic thing than what they've done recently, hell yeah, like it's only going to get better, and that's cool. So, yeah, I've loved it. I think it's fast, like I said. The way, like the flow of combat is just so fun, and like I'm like planning out stuff as I'm doing it, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna dash over to those enemies, and then there's this stronger enemy. I see them. That means they're gonna probably attack me with a parryable attack. There it is. Let me parry it. Okay, now I'm gonna hit them with my flail because that's the melee I'm using. Really hit him with the flail a couple times. Okay, my health is low. Let me dodge over here now. It's just like boom, 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 boom. And even when I die, the game loads so damn quick. I'm right back in the action, and I don't feel like, damn, like I died. Here I go. For me, I'm like, oh shit, okay, cool. And then I'm back in, and the biggest issue is the walk to where I was sometimes. But like for real, the tech side, the reload time on from when you died to get back in the game is insane. Like I'm waiting to get back in because I'm not pressing A fast enough. Like I don't know. It's just it feels next gen with that specifically. But yeah,
It's very fast. I On my end, I guess the walkbacks haven't really been that much. I feel like a lot of places that I have ran into or I'm going in time and time again have been kind of centered where it has you sort of right outside the doorway or wherever you need to go. Um, I feel where that really hits on my end though is a new thing they added with this one, which are the open world areas or open world levels, I should say. Uh, that drop you in usually 3 to 5 different little things you need to go to finish the level, whatever. So far, I haven't really been a fan. Um, a lot of the new stuff they've added so far hasn't really hit for me and feels really gimmicky. The open world levels, they have the giant mech levels that you've seen in trailers. Um, the dragon flying missions are probably my favorite of the three if I had to choose so far. The feeling of it's really nice. The sense of speed's really nice. But as sort of bumpers to regular levels, they're a nice sort of interlude. But very quickly. I'm like, okay, I've had enough of this, and the level ends like right there where I start feeling. I'm like, I feel like they know that they don't want to drag it off too much, especially the mech
Yeah.
ones. There's not a whole lot to them, but
Yeah, you're really doing the same motion over and over. And then the dragon one I love, but the fact that when you're taking down some of the ships and the things they want you to do, and you just hold trigger and it drags you into that static thing and you're just hovering and it's like, wait, dodge up, dodge one of the four cardinal directions, and that's all you do every time. I'm like, ooh, this doesn't feel good. Like I agree. Dragon felt so much better until that section. And it was like, ooh, all right. But luckily, like again, it doesn't overstay its welcome. Those sections didn't feel difficult. Luckily, with the dragon one, you got off multiple times in some of the levels, so like it wasn't just straight dragon the whole way through. So that felt nice. But yeah, I don't want them to go away from these, but I definitely want more of it. Do I want to be upgrading my mech and my dragon? No, I don't think so. But there could probably be some more variety and such in these, but we'll see.
yeah, it's definitely something I would like to see refined. It almost feels like they were trying to add too many new things that they kind of stretched what each one's potential could be short. But the the dragon, when you mentioned how it kind of like drags you into the dodging section, I've had a couple times so far where, as a way to kind of like take the player to the next goal, they'll have like a ship that you chase through a bunch of hallways and stuff trying to shoot down. I've had a couple
Yeah.
times where I'm doing that and it takes me right beside an objectives and it like harshly transitions me into that sort of dodging and
Mm.
weaving thing. I'm like, well, there goes that enemy. Don't know if I need to kill him or not if he was just taking me here. I'm like, that felt really weird.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't have that issue. But I know what you're like. You would fly by, and then, like I would see, like, ooh, there's a place I can land, and such. But yeah, there are like, there's just some moments like that where it's such a hard. Oh, we're gonna take you into this thing since you triggered it. It's like, oh, here I go, I guess. So just a little refinement, like you said, is good. I would love to see them refine these.
How are you feeling with, I don't want to say level design, but overall just atmosphere so far? Because a lot, I don't know if I honestly at first I thought my game was glitched. Um, music is almost like gone for me. In my mind, I remember Eternal just being kind of like constant, like fast paced metal and drums and shit going on. This is very, very quiet outside of you get to kind of the arena sections that introduces it in. But in between that, my game is a very weird experience to me. And like it feels like something's missing. And I saw someone on Twitter talking about it, and I responded. I said it feels almost like there's some sort of aura missing, like some kind of backing track to help carry along the that feel good, just kick ass thing you're doing. Like that seems to be missing on my end.
You gotta get better speakers.
Damn.
No, it is a different composer. I know Mick Gordon, if I'm getting the name correct, is no
Yep.
longer the guy. So it is different from like Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal as quick reference for that. So there is a difference there. I don't think it is as they went as heavy metal with it. They still have that influence, of course, but there are bagpipes occasionally, right?
There are bagpipes.
They have some. They definitely. This is a Doom the Dark Ages soundtrack, right? I don't think it's a Doom overall soundtrack, and that's not a bad thing. But I think that it really, I wonder if it is just a difference in style and yeah, the way it's mixed. There is a weightiness to it. I've gone in multiple times and adjusted the audio so I could hear the music more because halfway through I realized, oh man, like the music disappears in my speakers or my headphones in both ways I've been playing and listening. The music disappears in the combat, so it might just be a mixed thing as well on their end. But I think that is also because it's a different composer, which
Uh
isn't to be bad. I like the music, but I know a lot of people reference that as an issue.
yeah, I want more. It's like a weird transition, almost like atmospheric stuff, which I think caught me
Hmm.
off guard. Because again, in my mind, if I went back and played an Eternal now, I would probably change just how in my head I'm remembering it, sort of thing. Um, how have you been playing so far? Are you focusing on just one or two weapons? Are you kind of just branching out to everything as far as upgrades go? They have introduced full upgrade skill trees for all the weapons. Your shield that you have as a new mechanic has a full upgrade tree with different sort of power ups to it you can do. And then there's also three melee weapons you get throughout the story that you can also choose to upgrade and how kind of fit your playstyle, which I really appreciate because you get these so late in the game. You're kind of always getting new um upgrades or kind of toys to mess around with. I think the last melee weapon's like mission 16 or something. You're getting like well over halfway through the
Yeah.
game, so it hands these out very generously, I would say.
Yeah, no, they do well, especially earlier on, and continue it throughout, but especially earlier in the game. They do well with pairing enemies that would go like rock pit, like the weapon you got, like the chain ball, that was a giant ball and a chain that you would shoot out. That does damage, really good damage against armored enemies. So they give you that, and then they introduce more armored enemies, and not just like now they're armored. It's also just like, no, this enemy is new and they have. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the way they introduce it is really good as well. Um, I've been mostly using the shotgun and switching to whatever I need after that, right? But I fully upgraded the shotgun. I love getting shots off with the longer range version of it, I guess. The regular shotgun, and then you could switch over to that's a great clip. And then you could just switch over to the super shotgun and do more damage with that. So I dive in and shoot that off. But then I'm usually using the pulver or the shredder because I have that upgraded where if you do enough damage, it'll put a status effect on them. Then if you hit them with a shield, it causes them to explode, which then goes off to enemies around them. So that's kind of how my play style is so far.
Yeah,
Using the flail, I fully upgraded that. Fully upgraded the base shield stuff right away. Yeah, the parrying and then using the flail is just so nice.
I've mostly been sticking with shotguns too early game. About probably 6-7 missions in, it got to a point where I was just frantically switching between anything I had ammo for. And then I, for some reason, honed in on the accelerator and cycler, I think it is. Kind of the two like laser weapons you get. And I have those fully upgraded now, which sends like a shocking wave through everyone, which really works well. Which I really like how they've done the upgrade system too, because it is, hey, there's 3 or 5 levels, whatever it is, and then once you get it maxed, we're gonna give you kind of a grand mastery challenge for a further reward for it. Feels really nice. Um, and then yeah, I was using flail up till I just got the mace, which the mace gives, it's like a one melee hit thing you can't combo in it with you do with the others, but it gives you ammo back every hit. So I switched to that. And the shield I've been using, I don't know that it's the one that like you whenever you deflect it sends like ghost blades essentially out to hone in on targets. Feels really nice. And having that upgraded, most of the stronger enemies now enter like the weak state where you can just right trigger, kill them all with just one reflect. Feels super nice.
That's cool. I haven't even used that shield rune. I think it's called. I think there's shield runes that give you those abilities.
Yeah.
No, I've landed on the ground fissure one because I got that one almost fully upgraded. And the turret. The turret's just so cool. All of a sudden, this shoulder-mounted turret pops up and just starts blasting people.
Yeah, I just got the turret this morning. I haven't used it yet because in my mind I was like, turret sounds kind of weak. It sounds like a something like an afterthought type thing. I was like, I'd rather stick with the blades. Blades look cool, but
it's it's just different delivery system.
yeah, different delivery of death.
I see. That's true. It's fair. Fair. Um, yeah, I didn't like the giant mace. It felt really slow because the way I've been playing is you could use the flail. Also, when you upgrade the flail, it does give you ammo. So, because I know you said when you do the flail, you get ammo, but I get ammo with the mace. You get ammo. You get ammo with the flail. At least I do. So, along that upgrade path, you do get that because I've been relying on that to get ammo there.
It's keeping me
But
alive.
yeah, I like how those things work, right? Like I'm all of a sudden now I'm like, oh, let me dive in and use my flail, use my melee ability because it's going to give me some ammo and some armor, and that's what I need right now. And then there's some weak enemies. Boom, let me get some health when I kill that pod of weak enemies right there. Just that ebb and flow, and then how the weapons kind of fit into that. Really, really fun. Like my shotgun does burn damage, and then when that gets high enough, it spreads to everyone, and they'll just drop. Like the way it kind of just explodes, all the stuff kind of happens at once is really good. I don't feel overwhelmed either, though, by like what's on screen. Have you ever do you ever get overwhelmed by what's like coming at you, like things get lost or anything? Because I think they do a good job of telegraphing what's happening visually, even when it gets hectic, at least.
I don't feel overwhelmed, which in my head again is something I remember from Eternal. I do, however, feel feedback is a little off at times. As far as you taking damage in fights. Um, a lot of the times, like you obviously tell your health's going down, but very sudden it'll be like, oh, you died. Do you want to use? They have life sigils. You can hold 3 of them at a time. Kind of a one up against or right at that moment without restarting the whole fight again. The amount of times that popped up when I felt like I was doing okay and surviving, like, oh, I guess I got hit somewhere by something that whatever. That
Yeah,
I
you have
feel they can
no
work
idea
on.
what you have no idea what got you either. It's just like boom, and you're like, oh shit, something behind me, I guess.
Yeah, which it's so weird because we just talked about how great the feedback is and sound effects and like the punch of everything. Everything except the damage you're taking and like, oh, okay. It's
Yeah,
like someone came and
which
like popped your balloon at a circus. You're like, oh,
yeah, which I give it. It makes sense because I feel like I'm constantly getting armor and health. So like, if I'm constantly losing it and replacing it, yeah, I guess it would potentially just be a sudden drop. I'm not really looking at it too much. I noticed the red vignette start to come in on the screen. I'm like, oh shit,
it's my time.
I'm like, I gotta dive out of here.
Yeah, that's the only. Uh, I will say I need to get a little flourish or something comes up on the screen with my I have issues with games moments. Um, I have had 2 instances so far where I got soft locked. Uh,
Jesus.
they have the hard cut arena so extra you're mentioning where it'd be like, oh, you need to clear everyone out, or there's gonna be a boss enemy that you need to take out to open up the gates. They have red gates that pop up, whatever. I've had 2 instances now where an enemy either got like stuck in the ceiling or in a wall, and I couldn't physically take them out, or just nothing spawned. So I don't know if they got stuck somewhere else, but I had to restart checkpoints at least twice so far in instances like that because
That's crazy.
other than that though, it's been flawless. Like I've had no real slowdown issues. Frame drops I'm sure are happening, but nothing that I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of wild. But it's other than that, like very smooth experience, which I mean they always are. They're killing it with what they do. They're have this crafted down to a T. But
Yeah, the whole experience, like I already mentioned, how quick it is, right? Like you die, it loads. You press like, oh shit, I'm ready to load in. I'm like, boom, 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 you're in. Um, lost my train of thought on that one because I went do with my finger and I was like, that was weird.
finger guns.
uh, but yeah, I like how the levels in the chapters work and how when they have like the details for each one and tell you exactly what you can let. Because going back to earlier, you said like you don't think you're gonna be replaying this one. Where very quickly for me, I was like, this one is probably gonna stay on my console for a while because I'm gonna beat it and then crank the difficulty up 1 or 2, and then it's just gonna be there and I can just enjoy Doom for Doom and just replay the campaign at my pace. Especially with the way they do each level has objectives like gold, secrets, little toys, which are really cool, cute, stuff like that to collect. So that for me, it made it, oh, this is replayable because of that reason, as well as the difficulty aspect of Doom as a whole. There was
The
a question somewhere.
No, I feel that's honestly probably more on my playstyle because as I'm going through, when I get through an area, I'm checking the map, getting all the stuff as I go through. So most of my levels are already like 98, 100%, 93%, whatever. Like I got everything I pretty much wanted out of them already. Um, that ending result screen has screwed me so many times at the beginning. I thought I was going crazy. Because you have to like you can't fast forward how it's showing you. It like slowly goes through. Here's this thing, this thing, this thing. Hit right bumper, go to the next page. Right bumper, go to the next page. It took me so long to realize you had to go to the fourth page to start the next mission that I was like backing out of it. Back to the main menu, back to my save to pick the next mission. I'm like, this feels really weird. And then finally, I like left when I finished the level and came back. I'm like, oh, you can't just start the next one at the end. Just be patient.
It's so funny that I constantly go back and I'm like, ah, shit, I'm back at the menu. But it's so quick. It's not the worst thing in the
No, not
world.
at all. I was like, this is
But that
really
is really funny that you keep doing that. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, because like it's showing like it's mission complete or chapter complete, and then it brings up the checklist and it goes through each thing you did. You can unlock weapon skins, which are cool. Some other collectible stuff. I don't think what other skins are there. I don't think your
uh
shield gets one.
no, Dragon does.
That's
I
what
think
the
there's
dragon and
skins
the
for the
Atlan.
neck, which I haven't gotten either of those yet.
Me as well. I have not, but I did see that. So yeah, and yeah, that replayability, it being broken down in the chapters, and when you load your save, you can just go through and I think select and replay whatever one. I like that. Yeah, it's really cool. I just like how this game is how it's designed and very really straightforward. That aspect is.
Yeah, it wants you to get to the action as fast as possible. It is going to skip all the little side stuff. We're not going to do. They have the cutscenes. We're not going to do like, and what
The hub
happened last
world.
time type thing. Yeah, like we want you in. We want you doing cool shit as fast as possible, which works.
Yeah,
I'm happy it's here. I am, like I said, I'm pleasantly enjoying my time with it. Uh, obviously, some things we could want better. I could want better or fixed, whatever. But as far as a single player focus shooter like this nowadays, it's it. It's a Doom. It's what you would expect.
100%. This is a great game, especially as a single player first campaign only, right? Uh, Fucking amazing. So I'm gonna beat it before like next week, in a week. Like that's crazy. I haven't done that with a game in a while. So
It's
good
nice.
job, id. No, yeah,
Yes. No.
I forgot. I was like, that's not them. I was like, it is.
That's not them. Gonna move
And the
ahead.
lack of cough medicine.
Oh God. To probably the biggest news story of the week. The only news story of the week that we have for this show. Taking it back, as I mentioned earlier, to PlayStation with a couple happenings over there. Um, Before we get into kind of the big one, I would like to point out, as announced on the 15th of May, that Jade Raymond has left Haven Studios, which was in charge of what many people thought was supposed to be the next live service game coming out, Fair Games, which has now been rebranded to Fair Games without the dollar sign at the end. Kyle's got his hand up.
Can I admit something?
Hit me.
I thought Fair Games was the studio.
No,
That's all.
no. But yeah, she has now formed the studio under PlayStation herself, studio lead, and has now left said studio after the constant live service conundrum that they're going through. Uh, Raymond, at this point, most notably, one of the original producers, creators, executive producers for Assassin's Creed 2, the early Assassin's Creed series as a whole, and Watch Dogs before she left Ubisoft entirely. And yeah, started Haven Studios with Fair Games that we got 2 years ago, I think, at this point, announced when they started all of this. And has now left. There's been some rumors that she has left after some internal uh, stuff on Fair Games happened, and people weren't very high on it, sort of thing, and morale was very low. But there's been no official announcement that the game has been canceled. As far as we know, it is still going on and pushing through to a release date somewhere. but it fits in PlayStation sort of, again, just live service. How do we figure this out when it's not something we've really done before? Um, I found someone laid it out of the 18 live service things that we knew of so far at PlayStation. Destruction All Stars, Helldivers 2, Gran Turismo 7 have all happened. Concord taken off, shut down. Marathon, which we'll get to next, is set for September 23rd. Fair Games, as just mentioned, the rumored Horizon multiplayer, Horizon MMO, the new title from Team LFG, Jason Blundell's new studio game, Media Molecule live service game, and Last of Us Online, Twisted Metal, Spiderweb, London Studio, God of War live service, Ben Studio live service, and Deviation Games live service have all been canceled. So that is 6 cancellations, 1 shutdown out of the original 18, which is just wild.
Yeah. No, they are reorganizing, and we know this. They're reorienting the big, massive corporate ship that is Sony PlayStation, and that takes time, and stuff happens, and we won't know everything. This is probably a part of that. Hopefully, it's a hey, we got to do this with the game. We're going to transition it slightly this direction, more live servicey, maybe more free to play based. If I'm reading between the lines, and considering Concord being paid premium, Helldivers paid premium, Marathon paid premium, most likely. Fair Games, fair to say, paid premium, not a battle pass. So maybe that is the reason. Again, all just assuming and making assumptions here. If that's part of the reason why someone would leave, like why Jade would dip out, because it's taking a different direction, that makes sense, hopefully, I think that might be best case, but either way, it's another sign that PlayStation is not in the best position, is struggling to get their footing on this, or after, diving so far into this live service push, and now they're trying to figure out how to get back to what they can do successfully, especially in this market with everything changing too. So who knows? We'll see. I mean, do you think we'll hear about Fair Games this summer, or is this something that might be later on?
I genuinely don't know. I think back to last year when we were talking about showcases and what PlayStation would be doing, if anything. And any normal time, I would again be like, hey, they need to get something out. They need to get titles out announced, have a lineup of some sorts. But now with Xbox supporting them, they don't really need to. They can hold off and avoid announcements too early and avoid criticism too early and kind of take things at their own rate, right? Which kind of ties in. They had their financial reports today. I wish I had it pulled up, but they straight up said they're like, we're focusing from console unit sales to monthly active users type thing and how we can get more players in our ecosystems, which, hey, it's Xbox. Like, they're in that transition phase where it's so hard to even begin to pinpoint where you think they're going to go because at that moment they could, but in a week's time, who knows? They could be changing internally again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully the game comes out and it can be a success. Like, you don't want to see another situation similar or even close to what happened to Concord, of course, right? So hopefully this isn't a red flag, a warning sign, right? Of something worse to come. Hopefully I would love for this game to come out and be awesome and have a community, but gotta wait and see. Gotta wait and see. Now, I don't know the name, didn't know the name Jade Raymond until this all broke. Are you someone that was like, oh yeah, them being attached to this studio, that meant something? Or because to me it's just another name, you call out Don Blank and that's a studio guy, cool. Like that, not no discredit to her.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's a lot of weight behind her name. And
I feel for your average person, there probably isn't. I'm the weird person. Like when we're watching a showcase and I see a studio logo pop up, I'm immediately Googling to see history. Like I want to know their history, what they've done. She's kind of getting more flack on it due to her history. I mentioned her history with Assassin's Creed through Bloodlines, Watch Dogs. Um, After that, though, her last thing she's actually worked on was Battlefront 2 in 2017.
Mm.
So it's been almost 10 years, and she's kind of gotten that thing now where it's not even just Haven Studios. I think she was attached to one more game before this that also just disappeared when she left. So she's kind of got this history of I'm riding the coattails of my initial success, and people are looking at it that way, and just she's constantly leading projects, sort of thing. So I feel like that's kind of why she's getting more of the brunt of things. Um, she I
Makes
just
sense.
looked
Yeah.
at I looked it up here. She in March 2019 joined Google as the vice president and was going to be leading Google Stadia streaming service stuff. And then went
Oof.
from that to Haven to do that. So just kind of bad projects getting
Potentially
mixed
just
in.
yeah. I mean, you think about Stadia, cloud-based, first one to try to do it. Just Google tried to get in the game, didn't commit hard enough, honestly. um, that's crazy, yeah. And then Haven, who knows? And then PlayStation now, as a whole company, vocally is now saying, "Hey, we're changing from that direction." And if this game was built for that, it's like, damn, that's just two unlucky bounces, and you just couldn't. There's a thing of like being like you gotta timing is everything, right? And this game comes out months later. If Stadia hits months later or months earlier, depending, right? Like it could have been the thing we're all talking about, but crazy.
What
It's interesting her being attached or like being a part of Assassin's Creed when Assassin's Creed was at its best, in my opinion, and when I love the franchise. So that makes me interested in, hey, maybe get away from these live service multiplayer cloud stuff and go back to producing. Like, not go back. That sounds that go back over there. But maybe she can get back to just making a game that maybe will for sure get out.
which is so shitty with the gaming industry because it is such long turnarounds for stuff like this that when that sort of
Yeah,
storyline around you begins, you gotta wait years to try and turn it around and change the image on
it's
yourself.
it's almost worse than like an employment gap in some ways, right? It could be seen that way, especially if it's big enough, right? Because it's like, oh, you haven't done anything since 2017. It's like, no, I've been working since 2017. I just don't have anything to show for it? Question mark. Like
Yeah,
wild,
my stuff
fucked
got
up.
canceled. Maybe nothing due to me. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I got canceled and it's NDA'd, so there's no one knows for years. Like it's an insane thing to like slowly get more of a glimpse into. So
I would
volatile.
I would almost say I don't think it would be this year, but next year's Summer Game Fest, I could see her at another new studio or something, and hey, this is our new studio's new first project. Come work for us, type thing. Like that. Where I think this is
You see
going.
Xbox.
God,
Come help us with Perfect Dark.
we'll be out by 2030. On the other spectrum of things, as far as live service goes
Yeah.
with Sony, Bungie. Earlier in the week, an artist on Twitter came forward to accuse Bungie of ripping off their artwork since that she had posted since 2017, I believe. Um, where did I go with this? As far as in-game assets, poster sort of promotional marketing artwork and stuff, Bungie admitted to plagiarism, supposedly the work of one ex artist that no longer works at the company. Um, yeah, just kind of, it's a shitty thing. It's around the time of the alpha not really hitting and people questioning. We talked about it last week if we thought it was going to be delayed in any sort of way. I've also seen this is not a first for Bungie that I have not been aware of. There's this, I think, the fifth or sixth time, most of it coming from Destiny sort of things. So it makes you wonder why this keeps happening, if it is an ex-employee, how it keeps happening, what their sort of checks and balances are for shit like that. Because I honestly couldn't tell you another studio in recent memory that has had this happen, let alone that many times.
It's insane. It's inexcusable to at this point. And they admitted it. So yeah, like it's yeah, you can't do shit like that. And it's such a true or not, it's such a unfortunate cop out of it's an ex-employee. They're no longer here. It's like true or not, that's a bull. That sucks. That's not a great answer, and they
Wipe
know
your
that.
hands clear of it.
The artist is Anti-Real. Just want to make sure we say the name of them. Who, yeah, their artwork is like 100% in the game, and they've confirmed that it is like direct when it first came out and broke, and they showed clips and or evidence. It was like holy shit! Like the art design of Marathon is this person's portfolio that they just showed, and that is awful. So it's just awful. They're making it the best. Now they're just responding and reacting, and they're doing the best they can. But it should have never happened. It makes sense though, how if you have someone who, oh, let me put these on a file for me to use as reference. Oh, look, today I'm laid off, and they're gone. And hey, months later, someone, hey, what's this? Oh shit, these are awesome. Look what someone made. Like, damn, that sucks. That totally, I can make like that makes sense. Doesn't justify it. It's the downside of losing a bunch of people by chance because you don't. The people who put something somewhere and did something, now it's gone and you don't know. Not saying that even that is what happened, but no matter what, that shit can't happen where you accidentally use someone else's art without asking and without compensation and without any acknowledgement in your game. And God, could you imagine if the game came out? So we'll see what happens. They did a stream. They were supposed to show new stuff off. They were supposed to be happy and talking about the alpha, and that was the most depressing stream ever. I felt so bad for the art director because I doubt he said, haha, I'm gonna steal this person's art and put it here, right? This man's just standing here being like, who the fuck put me in this position, right? And he had to sit there and do that whole stream. He looked like, I feel for people like that on a human level. But as a corporate, fuck that. Don't do that shit.
I've seen
awful. So
so
we'll see
many
where the
screen
game goes
grabs.
because, like, yeah, we'll see where the game goes. I was feeling they needed to delay it anyways, just because of if like why not get ahead of it and delay it now? Delay it. There's no reason to push it out. You're I don't know. I can only imagine what it is like being at Bungie right now, or in the Marathon team specifically. Because oof, I don't know. I don't know where it goes.
The report from Paul Tassi on Forbes: morale is at free fall across all departments, and the vibes have never been worse. Everyone has the same concerns about what happens to Bungie as a studio if Marathon bombs, which is something that absolutely cannot afford. Conversations are happening privately between higher ups and Bungie leadership. It's unclear what the plan is to launch the game in a now actively hostile environment just a few months from now, or how to turn that situation around. Supposedly some public beta stuff in August has been changed that may or may not be happening anymore. And at the start of the month, Bungie pulled the plug on its main Marathon marketing plan, which is going to have an all-new trailer in June, along with the launch for pre-orders. Whole campaign is currently being reworked, which again is just wild.
And if you look at the art deck that they shared and the comparisons people have been doing, like a lot of that stuff I think is in the opening credit when you open the game and they do this whole opening screen. Part of it's in there. Part of it's in the menu screen. Like that design aesthetic is embedded within Marathon so much. And that person is either going to become the art director or they just got to remove all that shit and redo it. So just please delay the game. I just looking at Paul Tassi's Twitter as we're reading this, I saw someone tweet out that he shared. I'm gonna read it out because I think it's good. I feel so gutted that the 99% of people who worked on Marathon that had nothing to do with this art stuff just have to watch the game get destroyed and all years of work get deflated. Like we just talked about, Jade, like you haven't been doing anything since 20. It's the same thing. It's like, so the thing, Marathon, they've been working on it. They believe in the game. And just because something like this happens, and if we're going to believe the honest, hey, this was an accident. What an unfortunate fucking thing, right? It's not the first time though. So if it's an accident for Marathon, damn Bungie, you fucked it up because it's the fourth time you've done this. So it's just unfortunately part of the culture. Leadership probably needs to go and get changed. You hear constantly from ex Bungie devs who got laid off that are just say leadership's the problem. They don't listen to the devs. Yeah, I do believe Sony will probably be fully in charge and take over Bungie as Bungie becomes a full PlayStation studio at this point. Like, yeah, leadership just fucked up, I think. So it'll be
That's
fascinating to see where this ends up.
I was going to bring up a tweet. Detective Seeds, kind of insider to a point for PlayStation stuff, posted 6 hours ago. I believe Bungie will delay Marathon to 2026. Bungie execs get advertised payments from PlayStation and leave. PlayStation fully takes over, cancels Marathon, and has them moving directly into Destiny 3, which would be just heartbreaking again. You mentioned it, it's not something we're actively waiting for people to be closed, shit to be closed like this. Again, it was a one person type thing that affects hundreds of people. But God, the way the internet works, you get bad press like this, and it becomes a snowball on Reddit forums, on every YouTube video you make. Like, this will have a lasting effect on not even just Marathon stuff, Destiny trailers. Like, the negative impacts of this will be long.
Yeah, well, it brings for long felt, right?
Yeah.
It brings up when Destiny did the same thing, stealing a Nerf gun design, stealing a concept art for Savathun, I believe, the witch. Like, it's just like, why? Like, what are you doing there? What are you guys working on? Why do you got to steal stuff from the community? Bringing them in a program. I say, hey, we love this. Can we use this and like credit you and have you be a credited artist? It's like, oh shit, yeah, thanks. It's so easy just to include people. But yeah, they'll lay off. Yeah, it's sad, but when you hear constantly, like I've already said, so much of the leadership problems isn't a surprise. And honestly, I think it might be better for Bungie not to have sole ownership, or at least the current leadership to be in charge right now. And hey, Sony Santa Monica does okay. You know, there's studios that are that flourish under Sony. So maybe Bungie that's just what they have to do for the time being. But hey, I'll take a Destiny 3.
Ayo.
I'll take a fully commitment to Destiny 3. Hell yeah. I'm locked in for the year already on Destiny 2, baby. Please don't steal any art in that. I'm going to be pissed.
Whole Star Wars project gets canceled.
That's not a bad thing. That people would be okay if that got canceled and we just told a Destiny story. No, I mean, sad to see a studio like Bungie have this happen. Go. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was finish off because I was going to move on.
No, it's just sad. Hope for the best there.
The best. Speaking of Destiny 2 and the Star Wars expansion later this year, you will be playing it with your brand new Razer Wolverine B3 Pro controller that you picked up this week.
Boom!
Razer's version of a Pro controller, you told me. How is it? Why are you a Pro controller buddy? Because I am not.
His thing is awesome. Yeah, so it's the Wolverine V3 Tournament Edition specifically. The big difference between this one and the other one, the Pro, I think it's called, is wireless functionality and a rechargeable battery. So for $200, you can have Bluetooth and a rechargeable battery. But only $100, you can just plug it in like I do. So that's why I went with this one. It does have a mode when you plug it in. It has like higher response time for esports and shit, but whatever. Whatever. So that's where I got this one, $100. I've been wanting a controller with back paddles, and I was looking at getting another Elite, but I keep getting stick drift. And you know, this bad boy right here has Hall effect sticks, which basically makes stick drift like a non-factor. It should not happen at all. And yeah, I got back paddles. So here's the controller. Real quick, you got it on stream as well. It's just an Xbox controller. It's got 4 embedded back buttons, so they're not removable like the Elite controller. Which at first I really liked that about the Elite controller, because if I'm playing Madden, let me pop those bad boys out. I don't need back buttons. I'm just casually playing, right? And then I throw them back in for Destiny. But the location of these ones are perfect. They're like in the controller enough and like out of the way enough where I can hold it and they'll not be in the way. Where the Elite controller, I felt like they were a little more in the way. But yeah, they rest right on the back. I love it. This one, as opposed to the Elite, these have 2 extra buttons as well on the top that you could program up here. So there's 3 buttons on the top now with the button, trigger, and these ones. It's awesome. Because of those, I have all face buttons mapped, so I'm never moving my thumb from this thumbstick. I'm pressing all back here for Destiny and Doom. It is amazing. The buttons are mouse clicks. You hear that? It's
Yeah,
a mouse
actually, yeah.
click. It's a mouse click. It's so nice. So it's like way, it feels a lot better than I only have had an Elite controller, so I'm not shitting on the Elite. I really love it. Yeah, it's my frame of reference. It just feels better to click on the back side of it. The top buttons are just regular clicks, but they feel great. Face buttons, mouse clicks, thumb pad, mouse click feels great. It has the trigger stops too, little thing, so you can have a shorter trigger press. That makes it a mouse click, so it feels nice. Yeah. My only gripe. Look at that start and select button, right? Look at how close they are on the Xbox.
Oh yeah.
That's like when I'm trying to press start and select and trying to get the menu for games, the map, that distance is felt.
Does
The
it have?
distance for this is felt. That's the only gripe with this controller.
Does it have the capture
when
button? Is that like above the sticks?
No, the capture button is down here.
Yeah. Okay. What the?
So you could see it's like spread out. And then this is like the Razer, you can change your profile so you can have different mappings and you just press it and switch it up. And you can also map it without a Razer app or anything with that. There's instructions how to. But yeah, that's the only issue. It feels just like an Xbox controller until that moment of like, I'm like reaching over something, it feels like. But other than that, a fantastic controller. I love this thing. Like, I fell right back into Destiny once I got the mapping right for my back buttons. I'm playing Doom. I'm fucking hauling ass in Doom, it feels like. Just whipping around, shooting shit, reloading, changing weapons, using the abilities. It's all mapped. It's so good. It's a solid controller. If you're doing esports as well, it has that functionality and mode for only $100. You can plug in. There you go. If you want wireless, it's $200. So there's that. But fantastic little buddy. So happy I got it.
I'm so torn on Pro controllers as an idea and a concept. I got the V1 Pro controller on Xbox back when that came out, and it was so hard for me to like attempt to rewire my brain to use the back paddles that I just ended up never using them.
I was like that for a long time, and I liked the Elite controller because of the weight. So I was like, whatever. But I just used one, then I added another, and then another and another, and then I got used to it.
I wish maybe.
I'm telling you, if you're playing shooters and stuff, it is like Destiny. It is game changing because you never have to leave the aim, right? Because I'm jumping right now, and I'm never aiming, or I'm never not aiming. You know, as opposed to jump, dash, reload, switch weapon, like a loser.
See, that's where I feel like I should use it more, but again, in my brain, I'm also the weird person, so like I have my Volt controller. I don't hold the controller normally. I do the claw hand thing where like my pointer finger is on Y, and I use that for like the face buttons and my middle finger's on the trigger. So I never really have that thing of like taking it off. Like I weirdly claw hand this thing, and I don't like it. This is the carpal tunnel that I'm getting in my
That's
life.
That's why you need one of these.
Because
that'll stop that.
That's what I'm like. It should help me. It's just rewiring my brain to use it that way. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. You know what you do? You get you get a controller that you can map and such, right? And then you take off the mappings for the face buttons. You just don't assign them, so when you press it, nothing happens.
Forced to use the back.
Yeah, and you just play something like Elden Ring.
See that I pre-ordered. I got the Switch 2 Pro controller coming in, So I'll use that as like a
I don't
testing.
get pro
Well,
controllers.
I just want a
I
normal.
don't get
I just
them. And
want
then
a
you're
normal
literally, you
fucking
had one pre-ordered?
I want a normal controller for the Switch. I don't want the Joy-Con shit. I just want a normal shape
That's fair.
controller. So like
They got
maybe
back
that will
paddles.
be. That's what I'm saying. It'll ease me into it.
Yeah. That's good. No, that should help. And especially like you just, I don't know, you use it for like a crucial thing, like A, right? Because then I'm just on the console, right? Like clicking A and moving around with the back paddle. So yeah, it's training your brain for sure. But hey, going back to it, it's been a fantastic purchase. They make it for Xbox and PlayStation, so there's different ones as well. Both work on PC. There's an app for Xbox, Razer app that lets you program all the buttons and whatnot, and change like the sensitivity of the stick. So great controller if you're looking for something. And honestly, $100 for what this does and everything with the Hall effect sticks as well. Like I think that's a fantastic price, honestly.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear.
Can't wait to compare it to your Pro controller Switch. I am excited to see what the back, like the paddles and what they feel like, the buttons, I guess.
2 weeks. We got one episode left of non-Switch 2 coverage. I can't wait.
Can we take a tangent?
What?
Is it delivering to you? Are you picking it up midnight? What's your sitch?
I probably could have done midnight pickup because I ended up getting my pre-order through Walmart. The
Okay.
near GameStop, Target, Best Buy, all those places are almost 2 hours away from me. So that was not even. I was just gonna do shipping because I'm in the Midwest. So yeah, I could have
Yeah,
done pickup in store for Walmart, but it was more like we got the pre-order in, hit the default options, get it locked in type thing. So it is
yeah.
being
Just press.
shipped. Yeah, it is being shipped. I don't know how Walmart works if they are on time. Um, I've seen a lot of bad things about Target so far as far as delivery, so I'm hoping Walmart
Yeah.
isn't the same, but as of
Who
now, it
knows at
still
this
says
point?
online scheduled delivery for the 5th. So,
And that's the day it like comes out, right? The
yep,
5th.
the Thursday.
Yeah, I can't wait to start seeing like it's here early, and everyone's like freaking out as it comes like couple days early for some people. As
Well,
some companies are like, fuck it.
I don't even know if you can use it then because they, if you saw, they have they're not sending out early review units because there's a major day one patch download for the console itself. So like press isn't even getting it till launch day.
They're like, shit, we have a big bug in this game, in this console. No, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so maybe not. Maybe most likely then it might be a hard do not until this date send out. Like it might be a hard do not send. So it might be delayed. Who knows? I hope, wait, you're gonna get it. It's gonna be a fun. I can't wait to yeah, just see how it is.
Either way, that first week is gonna be wild. Cause again, like it's the 5th, Summer Game Fest on Friday, which I'm planning on leaving work early to stream. That Saturday there's a major thing here in town, and then Sunday's Xbox Showcase. So like that weekend's just gone anyways. So if it is late, that's okay.
That's true, yeah. They're just gonna come in the middle of shit.
I don't got time. Xbox.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man.
Speaking
that'll be next week's.
Speaking of, to round us out of the Xbox Showcase, we never officially looked back at last year, Kyle. And I have our predictions that we did last year to look back at what we guessed, what actually came true, how incredibly far off we were.
Oh my god, I love this. I think I was right on like 82% of this stuff. So
start off with yours for your easy predictions. Next mainline Halo, Unreal Engine 5 launching holiday 2025 with campaign and local co-op.
This was post the Halo remake,
Halo
right?
Studios, yeah.
So I didn't like call out. Shit, that's bad. That's a bad one.
Other easy, safe prediction for you. Couple points here. South of Midnight, Clockwork Revolution, Towerborn, Dungeons of Hinterberg, 33 Immortals, and Still Wakes the Deep, all launching in 2024. So you got Dungeons of Hinterberg.
South of Midnight and Towerborn were the only ones, right?
Nope, Clockwork Revolution still has no release date.
Shit, yeah.
So you got Dungeons and Still Wakes the Deep. Because 33 Immortals was also this year. So
I really believed.
Couple. My easy ones, Everwild is re-revealed for end of 2025, 2026. Obviously not. I could see that being a this year thing though. It's not on my
Yeah.
predictions. I started my predictions already. I said I got good ones. Um Oblivion and Fallout 3 Remaster announced both by end of 2025. Creation Engine 2. Partial points was not announced. That didn't get announced at all. It just dropped.
Yeah, no.
Fallout
You
3 is
got
still
before
waiting.
the end of 2025 on one of them.
Yep.
Which seemed like a really safe prediction, but whatever.
It was based off the rumors, but still the timing got pushed back a little more. Still waiting on the Fallout one. Hype train predictions. You had Gears 6 shown off alongside Gears Collection as a multi-platform release. Again, year later, almost to the day, kind of. Gears 1 remade as a multi-platform. No Gears 6. We did get Gears E-Day though. So
yeah, see, which isn't 6, but
it's in there.
Is the next Gears, right? But yeah, just was still interesting. I wonder if they're going to go back to 6.
Fable new gameplay trailer fall 2025. Would have had it, but now with the delay to 2026, was almost there.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark returns, sliver of gameplay 2025. Perfect Dark was there. Got the big gameplay showcase. No date still though. For mine, Dead Rising returns with a remake, original mall setting, seamless open world. We got it, kind of. Was not an open world. It was still very much an updated remake of the remaster they already did. Quality of life updates in there though. I enjoyed it. My solid prediction that I still wish would happen every single year that I keep reusing. KI versus X Killer Instinct roster mixed with Xbox IP as a new fighting game on the platform. Not happening. And then I also had OD was given a proper reveal, mix of gameplay, CGI, no date shown at all, which we talked about a lot last year, remembering, because it was fresh off the Game Awards, fresh off of that, and now we're a year later with Death Stranding 2 on the horizon. So where is OD fitting in that?
On the beach.
On the beach. We will see.
Got him.
Last one for me was Banjo-Kazooie returns as a remake, Unreal Engine 5, and a little more for Xbox Easter eggs or additions to the world coming off of the Astrobot hype that we were getting. Obviously not happening. Xbox don't care about us Banjo fans. I will keep championing with my small group of friends, but... And your last, Sarah Bond walks out on stage, pulls out the Xbox handheld 2026. A digital SKU of Series X is also unveiled, which didn't happen there, right? But it did happen like shortly after.
I think it happened somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, so, partially there. We're still
Just
riding
saying
that
that moment would have
talk.
been fucking killer.
It would
like, this is still can do it. They still can. Like, this is an Xbox, right? Haha, this is an Xbox. Like, oh, hold on, ring. This is a hello, an X phone. Hello, this is also an Xbox. Whoop.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how you pitched it last year too. Actually,
I know I'm consistent with my pitches, so when I have a good idea, I know it's good. Sarah Bond, I'm telling you, you just gotta take it out. But you can't say that.
God, it's good to look back on though. We had a couple. We had good pieces in there that we nailed on the head. Which makes me excited for this year because so far, usually around this time, like leaks / rumors / whatever is already starting. I've seen almost nothing for this year's showcase, which makes me incredibly excited. This week I did start my watch backs, so I've rewatched.
I love that you do this.
Rewatched 2020 and 2017 so far, which have helped me with some predictions. There's some stuff that happened back then that I'm like, ooh, we could run with that nowadays as far as reveals or new titles announced. So I'm excited to get into that. Whatever we do our new showcase prediction, either next week or the week after, we need to talk. As we all know, we'll also be joined by a special guest from United We Nerd, another kind of funny best friend podcast happening. They've been going on for quite a while. Ryan Saber from that show will be joining us. So we'll have 3 predictions going on. More hype, the merrier. I can't wait.
Yes, no, it'll be fun. Because like I don't even know what Xbox doesn't have a ton announced date wise for the rest of the year. right? Like
couple
we
no.
know, we just don't have dates for a lot of stuff. So yeah, I expect there's, and they even hinted there's stuff coming out that we don't know about, and of course there is. So I can't wait to see what that is. Yeah, I think we're in store for a banger. So it should be a fun prediction episode, which we should do next week because good episode.
We'll pencil in. I would like next week because the week after is my on call week, and I know if I set something up fun that time, they'll be like, "Oh, you gotta come in," or
Yeah,
um,
no, we should do next week.
yeah,
Loosely penciled in.
2025 so far. The rest of the year, it really is Duty, Ninja
Mhm.
Gaiden 4, and Outer Worlds 2.
Which duty is also assumed. We have no reveal or anything yet.
Yeah, which well, should have happened. I think that's usually first week of May or two. So first or second week of May that usually happens. So
Which I mean, I would put it a part of the conference at this point. There's no need to. I don't know.
how do you think
What
it needs
if
to
it's
be
not
conference
anything
though?
huge? What
Yeah,
if it's not anything huge though? Because why rush it? You saw the success, like Black Ops 6. Everyone was like, "Oh man!" And you can't like. I think it felt like they took their time, and people love that. Under Microsoft, do they need to push shit out, or do they just need to like, "Hey, here's a Warzone update. We'll have the next installment later. Like we're gonna go next year." I don't know.
which
They also could be like, "It comes out next month. Here's the reveal," and everyone be like, "Yeah." So they
pre-order,
can do whatever they want with that game.
get your weed
Also
skins.
with Grand Theft Auto now like out of the window, out of the year, it definitely, or unless some people think it's coming out May 26th or May 25th, 2025. I
God,
love that conspiracy that it's still coming out this year.
I
But yeah, no, who knows?
with the GTA delay, I feel that opened up a lot, and there's going to be a lot of studios either rushing or like finalizing plans for Summer Game Fest or the Xbox Showcase to be like,
Yeah,
hey,
finalizing plans is real good because yeah, it's crazy how open the end of the year is for a lot of companies.
that's the next 2 weeks. That week of the 5th is going to be date after date after your schedule's getting full. Like
I
exciting
know
times.
it's
I
gonna be
can't
great.
wait. My favorite
Every
time of
game's gonna have a date.
the you get a date. You get a date.
Everybody gets a date.
God. We'll be
Anyways.
turning back on this next week then. I'm gonna officially say it. Next week. Official Xbox Showcase prediction episode with fun guests. Will be I gotta get to work. I got 2 so far that are like locked, but now with a third person, I'm like, I need a couple extra backups just in case. Because even he asked, he was like, "Do you guys double up?" I'm like, "Nah, one everybody. Someone takes yours. You gotta have backup plan. Makes more fun."
Yeah,
So
that is more fun. Otherwise, we do the same stuff.
yeah. This week until the next episode, I maybe trying to work on a Doom review for the YouTubes. I've been getting more clips, remembering to do more clips to use for stuff like that, so I don't have actual normal way of capturing stuff. Um that's probably it. Doing some more streaming. Said did some Oblivion streaming this week, so having fun with that over on the Twitch. Stop by and check that out. Kyle, you got anything going on your end outside of fighting sickness?
Probably will finish up Doom and then get back to Expedition 33. I just gotta grind, you know.
Did
I can't find the place to go.
Are
I
you
did a
Act 3
loop around the
grind?
whole map. Yeah, I'm in Act 3.
Okay.
My next thing is go get the boy, go get the gray hair man. And it's like go do stuff though. So level
That
like 48, 49. That's like my characters. So
you are literally where I was at for my grind that I was talking when I almost quit until I saw the one tweet that changed how I built my characters and I just ran through. Um if you haven't yet for help, I would do find the endless tower is probably the
oh,
best.
I did find that. Yeah, I did run into that. It said a danger, so I didn't run in yet. I just did one loop and I was like just trying to find shit to do, and everything I found was like easy or just like collect. And I was like, well, shit,
Yeah.
or danger. And then Doom came out, so I've been playing Doom.
Endless tower, you
We
could
gotta get
probably
back
get
to
through
it.
like 3-4 floors for easy XP before you get walled off.
Yeah, I probably might stream some of that because one thing I want you to see like how easy it is to parry and shit.
Oh, I got my pro
The blast.
controller that makes parrying easier.
I haven't even played that game with this controller, so egg on your face.
Damn. with that, we'll catch you all back next week sometime with 3 people, and timing may change again when the show goes live. This episode will be going live Monday morning. YouTube, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify giving us a little more views this week too. I appreciate it. Thanks for putting us in the algorithm. I just got to figure out YouTube's algorithm and we can start growing. We appreciate you all. Like, comment, follow, share. Anything you do helps us out in the long run. We will catch you all back next week with episode 69. That's why Kyle wanted it to be next week. Nice. Till then, bye.
A loop. Round and round.